Hello everyone, welcome to part 1 of the Geospatial Technology course. In this first part, we're going to ask some pretty important questions. Number 1, what is geospatial technology? And of course, number 2, how do you get geospatial information and put it on a two-dimensional plane? So in the first part of part 1, we ask what is geospatial technology? Well, we know that geospatial technology includes GIS. GIS is Geographic Information System. And in a GIS, you're able to take spatial data or spatial information, put it all together to try to pull out information. So what's an example of GIS? Well, a very simple example might be involving real estate. Let's say that you are someone looking to purchase real estate. You want to buy a property. Well, what's important to you? Do you need to know how far away you are to the mall and other shopping centers? Do you need to know what the crime data is for a particular neighborhood? Would you like to know about the schools and the school districts? How far away are you to a transportation corridor? If you're close to an airport, how loud is it in your neighborhood? These are all little bits of information that you might want to collect when you're looking to purchase a property. Do you want to know if you're on the south side of a slope or the north side of a slope in order to get more or less sunlight? With the GIS, you can actually take all of this information, put it together in the form of layers, put all those layers of information together, and then pull out potential information that you're seeking. Real estate is just one example. Any discipline that has a spatial element associated with it, you can use a GIS to study. So it's a great tool, but that's not the only element within geospatial technology. What about the information that you put into a GIS, such as point data? That point data, maybe it's fire hydrants. In order to get that point data, you might require GPS, Global Positioning System. Or you might have a set of images that you want to put into a GIS. Maybe you're studying a landscape or you're studying some vegetation. That would require remote sensing. But then when you start to analyze all this information, you need to know some spatial statistics. So spatial analysis and spatial statistics is also part of geospatial technology. But let's not forget display, cartography. You want to put out the information that you are collecting or studying or analyzing. And in order to do that, you might need some cartography. So cartography isn't just mapping. Cartography is the science of mapping. Colors, symbology, lines, scale, all of that are cartographic elements that you need to know as part of geospatial technology. So all of these elements make up what we're going to study. In this very first section, we'll do a quick overview. We'll talk about cartography and spatial statistics and remote sensing and GPS and GIS, but we'll do it on an overview because throughout the course, we're going to talk more about these different elements. But then in the second part of this first part, we'll talk about mapping. How do you get information on a three-dimensional plane, i.e. the Earth, and put it on a two-dimensional plane? That's mapping. So we need to know something about coordinate systems. We need to know about projections. How can you project information onto a two-dimensional plane? And by the way, when we talk about mapping, we're not just going to be talking about static maps, but also dynamic maps. We're in the computer age. And so now we can have interactive dynamic maps. And that's also part of our mapping discussion. So that's what we're going to cover for part 1. This should be fun. And if you have any questions throughout this section or any of the sections to come, please use the discussion board. It's there for you. We've got a 24-hour promise. We'll get back to you certainly within 24 hours with any questions that you may have. All right. With that said, I'll see you soon. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.